Greetings, everybody. It's me, your friendly neighborhood mailman, Trojan Pair, with a brand new week on. And Sai here behind me, he's a little busy cleaning himself right now, but I am ready to start the newest week on. And of course, if you've been following what it is that we've got going on this time, you know that I'm choosing to take the red pill. Raspberry ketones. These pills, I don't know if it's the container or whatnot, they don't look red. See? I know it's a green canister, but even through the green canister, I'm not too sure. We'll see. Jevon's pills were actually red, but this is the miracle pill diet where we don't have to do anything. Just eat and drink how we would normally drink. Now, I'm trying to kind of keep towards a certain regiment ever since my last week on, but for the most part, there's basically no restrictions other than the restrictions that you set for yourself on this. You're supposed to take 2 of these pills per day. Doesn't specify when, just says you should. Now, I remember through Jevon's videos that 2 pills were best to be taken at breakfast and lunch, which I kind of agree with that notion, even though he did breakfast and dinner. But I think it's probably better to do breakfast and lunch just due to the fact that, or actually I think he was doing lunch and dinner. Either way, I think breakfast and lunch is technically the best way to go about this because you can start it earlier in the day. You know, if you get to day 7 and you take a pill when you're done, kind of defeats the purpose of it a little bit. So I think breakfast and lunch, the ideal time to take it. That's when I'm going to take it. Now, Gale, she might take it at different times. That's why I said we to begin with. We, that's because me and Gale are both going to be taking this. You'll get to see us shoot different filmings at different points in times because we're obviously, since we're doing our own things, we're not necessarily always going to be eating at the same time. Sometimes we will, sometimes we won't. So that's going to be the little change on this. Also, this is my first weigh-in since the Special K diet that I did. And I have been eating Special K cereal and bars pretty regularly. The bars I don't eat on the days that I haven't been on work. Now, I will say this weekend was a holiday weekend. We had 4th of July. There was a pretty big dinner. I've had some leftovers and whatnot. So I've had kind of a lot these last few days. So I would not be surprised if the belly was a little bit bigger through this holiday. So the weigh-in is probably going to show that I'm going to be somewhere between my pre and post Special K diet days. Of course, the thing about this supposed miracle pill that it's supposed to cause weight loss. On the pill, they just say weight management. There you go. It's something now that I don't know how new it was back then when Jevons did it, but now it's something that's kind of fairly common. I actually bought it online because I didn't want to have to go searching for it at stores because I didn't know which stores would have it. But Swanson's a brand that I've used for a lot of different things anyway, so it's no surprise. One thing I did make sure to note that I did was, even though Jevons didn't specify it, there are different milligram amounts. And so I wanted to make sure I was taking the same amounts that he was. And so I saw that he had 100 milligrams. And so these are the 100 milligrams as well. Hi, Sai. Yeah. What'd you say? Oh. He's something else. So we're going to take one of these, have breakfast. But, of course, first we'll have to do the weigh-in to see where we're at. Supposedly, you're supposed to lose a pound. That's kind of the promise that they make about it, which for me, losing a pound is during a week on is simple. So my goal, my personal goal actually for this is to lose as much as Jevons did, which of course he lost 3.6 if I remember correctly. So that's my goal, lose 3.6, but I'm only doing it the exact way that he did it, which means I'm eating the same food that I would normally eat, or at least feel like I could eat, and not do anything that I necessarily feel like I had to do, just what I want to do. Because, he wanted to exercise, he wanted to eat a little less because he wasn't hungry sometimes. Other than that, that's how we're going to play it. So let's get to the weigh-in. All right, time to check our weight. Here we go. $230.4.
All right, so I'm doing the raspberry ketone diet with my husband, and it is time to weigh in. Yeah, 182. Roughly around there. I'm really hoping that this works.
All right, so you see I put on most of that weight back that I lost, except for maybe 2 pounds, I guess, if I remember correctly. So, what is our first breakfast with our first pill taking? Well, I don't think it should be a surprise. We're doing Special K. I know, we're doing that again. This is breakfast. We're not going to have any Special K for lunch, so don't worry about that. We're going to have this fruit splash from Florida's Natural. Probably finish that off. And then, of course, our milk to go with it. And, of course, one of these pills. That is breakfast for today. Here we are. We've got our whole thing ready. Of course, this is probably one of my lesser Special Ks, but of course that's because the top 3 are all gone. And now, I'm going to grab one pill out. Yep. Not red. Oh well. I mean, look, it's the same thing. It's just not red. So let's take this. I remember he talked about that it had a smell or taste or something like that of a raspberry. I kind of caught that a little bit as I was putting it in my mouth. I wonder. I was going to close this, but yeah, I definitely smell a hint of that. It's probably stronger. My nasal passages have not been the greatest these last couple days, and of course, cereal-wise, well, it is what it is. Not the greatest one, but I need to get rid of them. That's 3 down, 6 to go.
Alright, here at church, and there is a potluck going on. Got myself a lovely spread. I've eaten most of it already, though. I almost forgot to do this. So we have the watermelon here. We have a delicious chickpea salad and a wonderful quinoa dish as well. And this has been awesome. But it's time for my raspberry ketone. And I have some lemonade to wash it down. Second serving, we've got corn salad. We've got more quinoa because it was so good. We've got sweet potato, and we have a veggie burger.
It is lunchtime now. I have been to the barber to get my hair cut, my beard trimmed. I look a little bit different from this morning. Feel much better, and I am now ready for lunch. So what are we going to have for lunch, which will include the second raspberry ketone for the day? Well, we are doing something you may have seen before from the infamous James Duncan diet, which was the plant-based beef tips, which I had a couple times. I'm going to include as a drink this bubble tea, which has raspberry, yes, you read that right, raspberry dragon fruit black tea. So I'll be getting more raspberries. Ah! Add to that some leftover coleslaw and some leftover potato salad. And then for dessert, snack, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to have a little watermelon that was also left over from our 4th of July. These are some of the things that we still had left, and that's what I'm going to have. All right, we got it running. We're just going to add the rest of what I have in here, and then we're going to kind of cook that up. Ice is making it pop. Get a little ice on it. Do about 9 minutes or so because it seems to do a lot quicker than the recommended time. Add a little bit of seasoning to it, and we'll be ready to go. Getting close, so to this concoction I'm going to add a little Heinz 57 sauce, which I actually really enjoy this as opposed to, like, say, A1 steak sauce. So I'm going to put that on here, kind of stir it in a bit. I seasoned it a little bit with some salt and pepper, and then we will take it out. So looky here. This looks pretty good. Little thing, when you add the sauce to it, you've got to make sure to, I would try to add it directly to it. Turn down or even off the heat when you do it, because if you add it while it's still, really hot, it will make kind of a mess. Unless, of course, you cover it as soon as you put it in. So either way, it still is a really good idea to not really be cooking it over heat with that when it's still fully cooking. That's why I put it there towards the end when it looks like it's pretty much done. All right, I guess we should do this first. After all, that's the main point of this sweet con, is to take one of these pills. All right, let's just kind of go through it. So we have potato salad. Very good. Leftover from July 4th. Coleslaw leftover from July 4th. And the beef tips that I just fixed. Very nice.
It's snack time. Chips. Chick-fil-A sauce.
We are now at dinner. And decided to get pizza from Pizza Hut tonight. We'll have me an RC to drink. And that's all it is. Mushroom. Pretty simple. Gale is...
I have some shrimp fried rice here, and because I'm not feeling the greatest, some egg drop soup, or egg flour soup as they call it.
And I imagine you still got to take your second raspberry ketone?
Yep.
So, going to have this. Don't get to have Pizza Hut too often. So, going to have me some. Pretty good.
Ketone time, and I did not show this off with Trojan's recording, but I've got an RC Cola here, best soda in the South. I'm going to use it to take my ketone.
Finished dinner. Now it's time for my last little thing of the day. I'm going to have me my dessert. Leftover Jimmy Carter peanut butter pie. And I'm going to have a juice box. It's organic fruit punch juice drink. And this will pretty much be an end to day one. Pretty normal start. Nothing too spectacular yet. Took the 2 pills earlier in the day. Not noticed anything yet, but it is just day one. We'll see what day 2 brings, however.